Okay, so we've touched upon this in class, but some of the workings were not quite correct. So we'll have a quick recap and then go through this again. Angles in triangles and quadrilaterals. Hit pause, make some notes when you're ready. Write starter and hit play again. Okay, so here's our starter for today. Hit pause, have a go when you're ready. Hit play again. Okay, so question 1, order. I've got some numbers put in order. I prefer to do ascending order. So smallest to biggest. So let's try that then. Smallest number there is minus 15. Next one is minus 12. Then minus 3. 0 and then 3. Okay, question number 2. Cost of hiring a plumber is given by the formula C equals N times 11 plus the standard charge, SC. Find the cost of 4 hours work with a standard charge of £15. So the cost is going to be 4 hours, 4 times 11 plus the standard charge of £15. 4 11s are 44, plus the 15 gives us £59. So hopefully you got that right. For part B, standard charge is 20 and the cost is 75. Find the number of hours. So the formula is the same, N times 11 plus the standard charge. The cost is 75, which is equal to N times 11 plus standard charge is £20 in this case. So we've got an algebraic equation. In order to solve it, we've got to use float and ping an escalator. So I'm going to take that plus 20 here, float it over the equal sign. On the other side of the equal sign, it becomes minus 20. So we got 75 minus 20 equals N times 11, and that is 55 equals N times 11. To get the N on its own, we divide by 11. So take the 11 down the escalator. It's times on this side, so it becomes divide, which is the opposite on the other side. And so we have 55 divided by 11, and 55 divided by 11 is 5. So N equals 5 hours. Okay, next one is work out 0.1 times 0.5. If I just do 1 times 5, I get 5, but I've got to move the decimal point back 2 places, because there's 1 here and 1 there, which is what I've done. So I've got to move it back to 1, 2, so 0.05. And complete the statement. 1 kilo equals something pounds, so 20 kilos equals something pounds. Can anyone remember how many pounds, 1 kilo, how many pounds in a kilo? 2.2. So 10 is going to be 22, so 20 is going to be 44 pounds. Hit pause, mark your work. When you're ready, we've got a couple more questions. Hit play again. Okay, 2 more questions. Hit pause, have a go. When you're ready, hit play again. Okay, this time question is pretty straightforward really. When it's midday in London, the time in Hong Kong is 800 hours. So that's an 8-hour gap. It catches a flight at 0200 hours, and the flight's going to take 8 hours and 20 minutes. So what time does he arrive in Hong Kong? So he leaves at 0200. Oh, oops. Let's start again. 0200 hours. And it takes 8 hours and 20 minutes to get there. So that's going to be at 10:20. But there's also an 8 hours ahead, so I need to add that 8 hours on. So it's 18:20. Okay, which is also 6:20 p.m. Don't forget p.m. And on question number 6, we need to use float and ping and escalator. So I'm going to float that +7 over the other side. On the other side it becomes -7. So 4x is equal to 35 minus 7, which is 28. To get the x on its own, I've got to use the escalator. So the 4 goes down the escalator underneath the 28, leaving us with x is equal to 28 divided by 4, which is 7. Okay. So hit pause, mark your work. If you have made any mistakes, use green pen to write your corrections, and then rag rate your work. And when you're ready, hit play again. So we'll look at angles and triangles first. So we've got these 3 triangles here, 3 different types of triangles. First one is an equilateral triangle, which means all the sides are the same and all the angles are the same. This triangle, if you recall, correct, isosceles triangle, so 2 sides are the same and 2 angles are the same. So that's your isosceles. This one is otherwise known as a scalene triangle. None of the sides are the same and none of the angles are the same. So it's unremarkable, really. And there's a special type of triangle, 90-degree triangle, right angle triangle. It could be isosceles or scalene. So it could be isosceles like that. If that's 90, then those two are going to be 45. Okay? Or it could be a scalene where all the 3 sides are different, all the 3 angles are different. Okay, good. So, in order to calculate the angles in a triangle, what we've got to do is all 3 angles in a triangle, we know they add up to 180 degrees. So we add what we know and we take it away from 180. I saw some strange things where people were adding their angles correctly and then taking it away from 360. Now what's that all about? Very strange. So let's add them first. We've got 65 plus 90, which is going to give us 5, and 6 add 9 is 15. So when we add them, we get 155. And then we take them away from 180. Okay? And that's we need to borrow from the 8. Goes down to 7. 10 take away 5 is 5. 7 take away 5 is 2, so 25 degrees. So we say A equals 25 degrees. So have a look at another example. In this one, we've got a special type of triangle, equilateral triangle. So all the sides are the same, also all the angles are the same. Do you know what they are yet? If they're all the same and they add up to 180, it's going to be 180 divided by 3, which is 60. So A equals B equals C, all equal 60 degrees each. Okay, so hit pause, copy the diagrams down, copy the workings out, and once you've done that, hit play again. We'll have a look at a couple more examples. Good. Okay, so for this triangle, it's a special kind of triangle again. We can tell from the markings on the side, there and there. It tells us that those sides are the same, which means it's an isosceles triangle. And that means the 2 angles on the bottom are the same as well. So those two are equal. So that means that A is equal to 65 degrees. So if A and the two bottom angles are equal to 65, we can do 65, add 65, which gives us 130 degrees. And then we take it away from 180. Take away from 180, please. So that's 0, 5, so 50 degrees. So we can say that A equals 65 and then B is equal to 50 degrees. Okay? So have a look at this example here. This time, again, we've got an isosceles triangle. As that side equals that side, that means these two angles are going to be the same. Okay. So if we do 180 take away 130, it leaves us with 50 degrees. These two angles are going to add up to 50, but they're the same. So if we halve 50, 50 divided by 2, which is 25 degrees, we know that x equals 25 and y equals 25. So x equals 25, y equals 25 degrees. Good. So again, hit pause, draw the triangles, copy the workings, and then when you're ready to move on, hit play again. Okay, in this example, again we've got an isosceles triangle. We know that because that side equals that side, so it's isosceles. Isosceles triangle, and that means that A and B are going to be the same. The two sides are the same, the two angles are the same. So we can do 180, take away 90, which is 90, and then we have to halve 90 because A and B are the same. So 90 divided by 2 is 45. So A is equal to B, we agree that, because it's isosceles, which is equal to 45. So they're both equal to 45 degrees. And this example here, scalene triangle, they have no relation to each other. I tell you what, let me just draw a little line here. And I'll call this angle here B. We want to find angle B as well. Okay, so we want to find A and B. To find A, I add what I know, 15 plus 27. If I add those two together, I get 2, carry 1, 42 degrees. And I take it away from 180, take away 42. That gives me, got to borrow from the 8, goes down to a 7. 10 take away 2 is 8, 7 take away 4 is 3, 138 degrees. So A is equal to 138 degrees. How do I find B? If this is a straight line, how do I find B? Well, you know angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. So I can do 180, take away 138, and that gives me 42. Okay, just borrow from there just to check. Good. So angles on a straight line add up to 180, angles in a triangle add up to 180. So I want you to hit pause, copy the diagrams, copy the notes. Good. Right. This example, we're looking at quadrilaterals. Quadrilaterals, four-sided shapes, and the angles in the quadrilateral, let's write that down here. A quadrilateral add up to 360. Okay, so this is a quadrilateral, so that's why it adds up to 360. Not what we were looking. Earlier we were looking at triangle. So in quadrilateral, four-sided shape, it's 360. So how do I work out W? I think you know. Let's add up what we know. 100 plus 70 plus 75. So if we add those together, that's 100 by the way. So you get 5, 7 plus 7 is 14, so 4 carry 1, 1 is 2, 245. So now I take it away from 360, so 245, take it away from 360, got to borrow from the 6, goes down to 5, whoops. And I've got 10 take away 5 is 5, 5 take away 4 is 1, 3 take away 2 is 1. So W is equal to 115 degrees. Okay, it's that simple. And if we look at this one here, this quadrilateral, I want to find W here as well. But I've got 75 and 75. They haven't told me what this is, but we know when we see this box, it's going to be equal to 90 degrees. It's a 90-degree angle. So let's add up what we know. 90, 75 and 75. 5 add 5 is 10, 0 carry 1. 9 add 1 is 10, plus 14 is 24, so 240. Let's cross off the 1 at the bottom there. Oops, forgot to cross that one out. And then I do 360, take away 240. And that leaves me with 120 degrees. So here W equals 120. So what I want you to do now is to hit pause, copy the diagrams and copy the workings. And when you're ready, hit play again. Okay, so I've got some questions on triangles for you. I want you to have a go at these. And some questions on quadrilaterals for you. So have a go at these. I'm going to attach them to the sheet. Okay? Now remember, when you're working on angles in a triangle, they add up to, correct, 180 degrees. Triangle 180, quadrilateral 360. Triangle 180. Right. Good luck.